morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Jason Allen. I'm a real estate planner and realtor in Palm Springs, California. It is Monday, May 1st, 2023. And today we're scheduled to look at Palm Springs. Here's the hitch. When the first of the month falls on a Monday, the numbers for the previous month haven't been crunched yet. As a consequence, I don't have April 23 to compare against April 22. So to kind of punt, and then I'll circle back to this all next week, in addition to doing whatever's on the schedule, I will go ahead and do a quick recap of Palm Springs then, so please tune in. But for today, I'm going to bring up something that's a couple of different charts that's part of Desert Dynamics. Desert Dynamics is an outsourced service that our association, the California Desert Association of Realtors, uses. And this is what's really interesting. So I've focused on Palm Springs. I can look at single family and I can look at condos. In this particular chart, what they do is they break down in $25,000, $50,000, or $100,000 increments how many months supply we have of units in that bracket. So what's fascinating is if I compare that to this chart, so let me just look at this chart very quickly, and the two will make sense once I get into them. This chart, same area, single family dwellings in Palm Springs, is a heat index by price range. So the ranges are a bit larger. On this side, you can see that. And it goes in 100 to 1, basically, are the two zones. The higher the number, the greater the leverage the seller has. So in looking at this, if we have no condos or no single family dwellings that are under $100,000, so if someone introduced one, the seller would have the maximum amount of leverage. What do we mean by leverage? We'll just reduce it down to power over the number of offers. So in other words, if I had a condo for $100,000, even if it was a train wreck of a fixer, I would probably get multiple offers. All right, if we look at these sort of this anywhere in single family dwellings, like realistically, when we start getting into the higher priced, we see the heat index is still relatively high. So you get over $4 million, and then it's the buyers have all the control. I find that fascinating. Now, in condos, let's look at condos. Again, believe it or not, in this particular case, the higher priced condos, the seller has the greatest leverage. So if you're making a presentation of a product, of a property that's in excellent condition with a dynamite view, you're going to be at this high end of the range. Now, you're going to have the maximum leverage because we have so few properties like that right now. So let me go back over to the other chart where I started, and this talks about month supply based on price point. So, and again, we don't have last month's. I will actually say that we're seeing the market pick up. So I would expect April's numbers to look pretty good. And going into May, I think May is going to be a strong month for us. All right. We go down the list here for single family dwellings. Obviously, we have no inventory in these lower numbers, but we start to get up into, $300,000 to $400,000 houses in Palm Springs. I'm not exactly sure where those are, but okay. Apparently, we have two, and those would take a year. So obviously, they're in a less desirable condition, or perhaps neighborhood for some reason. We get up into here and we start to see, again, based on the numbers, what seems like a relatively long window of time on the market. This 6 to 650, look at that. 5 units, and the expected length of time on market is 20 months. That's shocking. Now, I would say if you had a home that should be priced or would naturally fall in here based on comps, maybe you'd actually want to come on a little bit lower, where you have no inventory at the 624. And this is why you'll often find an agent say, look, if you're right at the threshold Let's dip to the lower zone. So in other words, let's say your home, we have a decent comp that's at 625. Why not list your property at 624 or 620 or 615 to make it that much more attractive? And that's a legitimate and fair thing to do. Sort of this sweet spot in here, you see we have like 0 inventory. So some of these have a little higher, but 0 inventory in the 7 to 725, 0 low inventory 775 to 799, no inventory 800 to 825. I find this kind of stuff fascinating. I don't know if you do, but it's what helps guide us into making the correct price, recommending the best price for a property when we bring it to market, or if a buyer is going to make an offer, like, let's look at these numbers. Condos, we go into, I do the lowest end on this one as well, just so you can get a sense of it. Condos, we have a bit more inventory. It's common actually. All right. When we go back over to the heat map, take one quick look at single family on this. I'm doing it so you can pause if you want to study this a little bit more. And then here are condos again. Still a relatively strong seller's market. If you have a home and you want to bring it to market, or if you're thinking that you want to sell and then buy something else, my recommendation is to do that sooner rather than later. If I'm correct that the market is starting to heat up and we see strong inflation numbers, we may end up seeing a lowering of interest rate later in the summer, which would cause us to see a lot of people come back to the market. As always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call me. My number is 760-325-1900. And if you'd like to pursue finding your dream home, I would love to help you do that. Or if you want to sell your home, I would love to help you do that. Have a great day. Enjoy your week.